Are you spiritual? Religious? Avoid having random sex if you want to be great. This is a topic that is usually sensitive, controversial, or uncomfortable for many people, either because the approach used to speak to it from the pulpit is religious and judgmental, or because, generally, sex is a sacred, secret thing that people do but just don't want to talk about, especially in public. This article may be controversial, debatable, and unscientific, but I am persuaded to believe that it has its own merits and relevance and therefore must be touched on. Depending on who you are, it may be of help or not. Please don't be angry if you disagree with us. Rather, register your rebuttal in the comments section so we can all engage in a good, family-oriented intellectual discussion for our collective benefit. I am not here to talk about having sex being a sin or whether or not it makes you a fornicator, adulterer, or any of its related tags. No. I will leave that for the pastors to preach from their pulpits, especially because you are an adult of full conscience and have most likely heard such preaching already, so that knowledge is not alien to you. Where I want to address this issue from is the fact that sexual intercourse is not just a natural activity of one male organ entering another female organ. It is also, in my opinion and for my understanding of life and spirituality, a very deep and spiritual exercise. We are all made of different stars and destinies. We carry different graces, abilities, blessings, and, in some cases, curses and generational blood patterns too. Some people's poverty is generational, just as some people's blessings are. Unfortunately, it is easier to contact bad spirits and filthy forces when you lay in bed with a person who is unknowingly a carrier of these things than it is to contact blessings, especially if the act of sex is happening within the context of its unapproved means. That's between unmarried partners. This is worse when, as a man or woman, a single guy or lady, you know very well and deep down in your heart that you will not marry that lady or guy. But you lead the person on, make marriage promises, and induce him or her to hold the mistaken belief that he or she was being there for you as your final stop towards marriage. Then they begin to make their bodies available to you on that mistaken belief. He or she invests her time, resources, lifestyle, attention, and everything else towards you just because, in his or her mind, this is forever. The last stop. Meanwhile, you know genuinely that you're just lying to him or her for your own selfish purposes. Kind of deception attracts bad energy and ill luck. The day you break his or her heart after wasting his or her time and using him or her for so long, and they speak against you into the universe out of pain, bitterness, and hurt, you are likely to have a difficult time dealing with spirits and unseen forces that will pick up those painful words and start fighting your life with those enchantments. Because in the realms of the spirit, there are judicial powers of justice that adjudicate matters and fight for the innocent or downtrodden. Similarly, it is not strange or impossible that if you continue to sleep around with broken spirits, that is, people who carry bad luck, after a while you will start seeing the rub-off of that pattern in your life, in your finances, in your business, etc. Except in exceptional cases where you yourself are extremely powerful in your spirit, so much so that your spirit has a very strong repelling capability with which it is able to cut you off from such spiritual entanglements. Other than that, do not be surprised if your life is not making speedy or meaningful progress because your spirit's state of health is constantly being bombarded by random spiritual energies that carry all kinds of garbage or bad luck frequencies. He is my spec, she is my taste. He is all that I want in a man or woman. That's okay. But do you care to know the spirits or energies they carry and will be exchanging with you? Very wealthy people who are spiritually minded, regardless of whether they are shiniest, Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, or whatever, try to always keep a clean spirit. Even if they are having sex, they ensure it is not indiscriminate. They discern who to be intimate with and who not to. They understand these energies are not all the same in all human beings. So, before they lay with you or take you seriously, they try to monitor and confirm the energy you carry and what you are bringing on board before they ditch you, kick you out, or keep you. It doesn't matter whether you're physically appealing or not. All they care about, and what will make them stick to you or vanish into thin air without any reason, is the kind of spirit you carry and therefore bring on board. No bad energy is tolerated in any way or form. Note that this is not a religiously biased discussion but a spiritual reality. Very highly successful and great people who have careless, random, unprotected, unguided sex have serious private issues they're dealing with, which can be traced to their promiscuous and untamed lifestyle of mixing their spiritual energies with all kinds of bad and confused spirits they make contact with when having random sex. Some move from grace to grass all because of one-night coitus they had with someone without caring to check, know, and understand the kind of spirit or energy she carries. There are some ladies with whom, the moment you have an affair with them, everything of yours begins to collapse. You start running losses in your business, you begin to experience financial instability, your health becomes a problem, your academics. Almost everything you touch messes up. Almost everything you deserve doesn't come to you, and you lose it in the last minute. There is always bad news at your doorstep, and nothing you touch seems to end well. These bad luck stories affect both men and women. Further, there are some women who must not have an intimate affair with anyone because anyone they try to have an affair with either loses his life or poverty becomes their surname almost forever. Nothing works for them anymore. Similarly, there are men that carry evil spirits, and if you are a woman of great destiny and you sleep around with these men, they can destroy your beautiful star, cover your light, impede your progress, or raid you of some prosperity and favor that was meant for you spiritually. The thing is, you will not even notice anything has changed or has happened unless you are very spiritually minded and have a heightened consciousness. Everything about you and around you begins to mess up without any reason. You start going through one challenge after another without knowing the root cause. So, it is not every rich dude you meet that is deserving of your body. Some of them made their money through dirty and evil means. So, when your fluid makes contact with their fluid in the place of sex, a lot of spiritual transactions occur. You lose your destiny almost forever. Some, too, aren't rich but carry so much garbage or bad spirits that, despite all their freshness and sexiness, the moment they lay with you, your life begins to mess up. So, brothers and sisters, let's be very deliberate in our choices so we don't end up being the destroyers of our own lives due to pleasure and trends. It is not impossible to remain clean and undaunted if one is having random sex, but it takes a very high level of spirituality and attaining the consciousness of a consummate man to escape those spiritual exchanges when you have sex with just about any woman or any man. Are you sure you are functioning at that highest level of consummate power that makes you impregnable to all forms of spiritual exchange? If no, then don't just have sex with anybody. Discern their spirit first before you decide to give them your body. If anything at all, your life should get better and improve because you had something to do with someone. It should not be the reason for it getting worse. If you're not sure of someone's spiritual status or your spirit is unsettled about a sexual act you want to have with someone, then avoid it completely. It means your spirit hasn't given you clearance because it hasn't been able to fully analyze and arrive at a safe conclusion about the person you intend to give your body to. In that case, don't ever do it. Not everyone you see out there is safe, ordinary, or in good spirits. Sometimes people carry evil spirits that they don't even know about. They carry all kinds of poverty spirits, and so as you sleep with such a person, you will just notice that a battalion of poverty-related issues have started affecting your life, your business, your finances, and your health, and you will not immediately be able to know that these new attacks are coming from your last sexual bout. Sadly, condoms and Postanor 2 or Lydia contraceptives cannot protect you from spiritual exchanges, nor can they stop your spirit from contacting bad luck, poverty, and destitution. It is not a joke. It is not funny. If you think your spirit is powerful and impregnable even with random sex, well, good luck, and perhaps I should say congratulations. But if you know it is not and you want to go far in life as a woman or man, don't see every pussycat or Dixon as a free orgasm. Some of these fine girls and fine boys are highways to the bottomless pits of Wahila that take you many years backward on your journey to success. There is no time. So, focus and build greatness. No unsafe 5-minute orgasm is worth your destiny. Be very deliberate and selective when it comes to who to offer your body to. Sexual intercourse is not just about the butterflies, pleasures, and orgasms you get. Beyond those, it is much more spiritual. So, know thyself and never let a 5-minute pleasure or a small amount of money you will be given in the end up ruining your entire life and future. Be safe out there. Please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, kindly consider doing so now to become part of this wonderful family. I look forward to seeing you on board.